Hello everyone, welcome to this next session with Anubhav. In today's session, we will discuss about topic on aspire to inspire. Thank you so much for sending all the responses on the LinkedIn and as well on my YouTube channel. Many of you have many time asked me, Anubhav, what makes you a good trainer? What motivates you? And what is your mindset to become a trainer, Anubhav? Many of the trainers have also contacted me who are covering different technical topics on YouTube, and they always ask me, Anubhav, could you please put some lights on how to become an effective trainer like you? What is that you do, Anubhav, in your routine, or what principles do you follow to become an effective trainer? So today's topic is specially designed for the trainers who have got inspiration from me, and I will be going to share 5 important tips which is going to make you successful as part of your trainer's role in a company. If you want to also become a part time trainer in your company, apart from your regular job, to spread the knowledge out, these tips are also going to help you. So let's start with our first tip here: build communication skill and stay passionate. You need to be passionate about what you do, guys, because passion is what makes you different from others. At the same time, you should have good communication skills, no matter how much knowledge you have, but until or unless you are unable to communicate it well, you are unable to make that communication with your students, it's not going to help. And communication is not just all about the oral communication. When you are going for corporate trainings or face to face trainings, it's also about how confident you are, how is your body language, are you able to make eye to eye contacts with your participants? That's very important. So it all comes under the communication skills. It shows your confidence, not just about yourself, it's also about the topic, how good you are in that topic. So my urge to all of you, those who are actually involved in corporate training, try to have eye to eye contact with your candidates. Try be to be showcase your passion also to them. Be passionate yourself, because if you are not inspired by technology, you cannot inspire others. That's so important. The second tip which could also focus is to focus on the success of student before your own. I do see many times the trainers, they don't focus on the success of student, rather than they first put their own priorities, their own goals on more priorities as compared to the students. As a result of that, they will initially make an impact, but the long impact will be missing. They will not be able to have this long term relationship sustainable with their participants as well as with their corporates. They run behind their own goals. After some period of time, they stop focusing on the students, what the students is expecting, and then they will go out of the track. Just to take an example, let's say there is a change in the industry, there is a change in the technology, and you are not adapting to it. You're not listening to the feedback of your students. As a result of that, you will definitely go out of track. Don't focus on your success. Trust me, guys, your success is dependent on the students' success. If you or it applies everywhere, wherever you go in industry, even though you're doing a business, even though you're doing a software business or non-software business or selling of retail products, if you are going to make a quality product out of it, and where you focus on the customer, your clients, you focus on your students in their success, that is when you will be successful. You don't have to focus on your success. Your success will naturally come when they are successful. I am delighted to share my experiences. Many of my students, when they send me an email, Anubhav, I got promoted. Anubhav, I have got better project. Anubhav, I've got 3 offers in my hand. This is what the real reward for me. This is what makes me feel happy, that I was at least able to change life of a person. And remember, guys, it's not just one life which you're changing. You're also changing to the many people who are connected to that student. You're changing the life of many of the people. I remember one of my student from Bangladesh. He was from a very poor background, and I taught him ABAP, by the way, for free. And then he has got a job in Oman. And when he shifted to Oman, when his first salary come and he deposited his salary back to his country, to the parents' account, he was so happy to do that. And he called me that day, and he was literally crying to tell me, Anubhav, how important that job was for him, and he has got through it just because of my trainings. This is what the real reward for a trainer is. So focus on the success of student before your own. Moving to the next one is invest in yourself. I do find many times a trainer who becomes a trainer and becomes famous, they stop learning, they stop their personal development. You got to keep it good, get going, guys. It's not just you become a trainer, you become everything. You have to also continuously improve yourself. You need to look at the trends, you need to look at what is going new in the industry, because technology is evolving every day. You cannot stop and say, okay, this is the content I'm teaching, and that you keep teaching for next 5 years or 10 years. You got to also improve yourself. I still see people who are teaching you i5 and Fury, they are still teaching on Eclipse. The reason being, they have not improved themselves. They are completely ignoring what industry is moving towards, and over a period of time they will become completely outdated. They will become completely irrelevant also to the people whom they are training. For them also, the training is not going to be that effective. So it's important that once you're famous, or probably you are on a good track, you should keep updating yourself. You cannot stick to the old concepts, you cannot stick to the complacent ways, old ways, not so right ways. You got to improve yourself. You got to invest lot of it on yourself. Investment could be any kind, whether you're doing a communication skill training or writing skill training or any kind of training or a technical training. I personally do invest in myself a lot. Not just about money, it's also about a lot of time I invest in myself to learn the new things, to judge the industry trends, to keep my eyes and ears open to see what's latest going into the market, where the industry trends are. And that brings me a completely different perspective, and that is the perspective I include in most of my trainings, so that students can also get best out of it. If this is why you would see most of my batches, as and when I'm evolving, new things are coming, and I'm putting that all of that knowledge as part of my trainings. Awesome. So let's move to the next one. You need to have a long term vision, and you need to stay motivated. Guys, people say only a motivated person can motivate somebody else. If you are yourself not motivated, if you are not yourself passionate about it, then you cannot definitely bring or transfer that energy to somebody else. You need to look for a long term vision. Many times you get associated with institutes, many times you get associated with some corporates, which actually kills your career. It kills your career literally, because that short term benefit which you are looking at, that short term benefit, you get associated with the wrong person, and that wrong person is now making you as a puppet, and you are just going into the direction which that guy is showing or that corporate is showing to you. You need to make sure that you're vigilant about what you're doing. At times you have to take tough decisions, and you should also get into habit of saying no for things which you don't like, things you don't admire. I see many trainers, they get stuck with institutes. I will not name those institutes, but those institutes kind of catch you up, and they don't pay you properly. They don't pay you the full amount what you're giving training for. And this is how they are keeping you into a long-term engagement, not leaving you behind. They will engage you into the contracts wherein they are not beneficial for you. They are going to use as a puppet. Yeah, so don't get into those things. You need to have a long term vision for yourself. This is why I recommend all trainers, if you have a good knowledge, be an entrepreneur. It doesn't take much time to get started with a website. Start your own venture, start your own website, no matter what. Maybe you get one student, two student, that's fine. You should not get stopped. You should have your own venture, you should have your own YouTube channel, you should have your own things which you can proudly say that's your own. Nobody can throw you out, nobody can play around you with their own terms and condition. You have to work with your own terms and condition, and that will only happen when you vision long term and not focus on the short term benefits. Very, very important, guys. All right, so the commitment is the key. You have to be consistent and committed to yourself. So what is the difference between a promise and a commitment? A promise which you make it to others, but a commitment is what you make it to yourself. You need to stay committed. You need to promise yourself that this is something which I will be doing and this is something which I will be not doing. That clarity you should happen. Remember, guys, there are never bad students, there are always bad trainers. You need to be very, very thorough about your vision, about your commitment, and you have to daily spend that much of time to your commitment. Pick up one single thing and spend your time consistently on that thing with commitment which you made to yourself, because that commitment is going to take you, that commitment is going to drive you for a long term when things are going to become difficult. At times you face difficult moments in your life, and that commitment is what keeps you alive, get going. And with that, on top of it, guys, for technical trainers, is special tip as an addition I would like to mention here. NCP, my favorite term, guide. No copy paste of code. If you are into technical training, if you are into programming training, you should stop doing copy paste. Please stop doing copy paste of code, because students don't like it. You can download simple examples from internet and just copy paste and show it to them. That's equivalent to reading a book. Somebody would buy a book and just refer to that. Somebody look at some internet blog, copy paste the code and run it. Why do they need you? You becoming a trainer, it's important that you write every single line of code in front of student and make them explain, make them learn, make them understand what is the meaning of the line doing. This is what people are going to choose you rather than anybody else. So with that, thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, please do share, subscribe. Do let me know what is your most interesting challenge in your training career, and what is that you want to become in your trainer's career. Do you agree with my points or not agree with my points, or you would like to have adding your own points? Please do let me know in the comment box below. I would love to hear from your complaints, feedbacks, questions, anything you have in your mind. You can always write back to me on my email ID. Thank you so much once again to be with me. Goodbye.